We got news. Oh man. They feeding us right now, ladies and gentlemen. Like we were thirsty out there in the desert. Shai Halud almost got us. We had bugs. We still got dupers. There wasn't any new content. The deep desert was in shambles. But we got a trailer for chapter 2. It's the announcement trailer. And then they've also dropped a post on the community page of Steam. We're gonna go through that after the video, but we're gonna jump into the video first. Hold up.
The Mithra's in pieces. The cargo's vanished. And no one knows what it really is. Arrakis is full of secrets. Ancient things buried deep. I need your help, stranger. That package is the key to everything. Find it. And don't let anything stand in your way.
There's been a string of
Let's
murders
go.
across the capital. I don't know who we can trust.
You will work with my investigator and stop this killer before he strikes again.
We've gotta go back. We have to go back to the beginning because there was a lot in this trailer. First off, right off the bat, I don't know who these characters are. I'm assuming this character over here on the left is the player character, so that's going to be our character in that type of situation. That does not look like Ariste. That looks like a completely new character that we are essentially going to encounter. Or I could be absolutely wrong, and Ariste got one hell of a glow up between the events of the base game and this first DLC. But what and also we're going to be getting Jessica finally. We get to meet her in person. Now, what Jessica is wearing in comparison to what this first character here is wearing definitely screams as though both of these characters are Bene Gesserit. And it could also lean to the fact that this is a version of Ariste that might have went through more Bene Gesserit training because of her mother. Because we know that in this universe, Jessica is essentially trained as a truthsayer, which means we cannot lie in her presence because she will know that we are lying. She's probably one of the most, I'd say she's probably top 5 most dangerous people on Arrakis in this universe. But the first thing that I want to take a look at is the new vehicle. Now, listen to me. Funcom, look. How fast does this bad boy move? Not only that, what are the incentives that you're going to be putting on this bad boy? Because of the fact that you've changed Sandflower, and Sandflower is just a little bit more of a pain. Please tell me that there is something along the lines of like a shovel or a Hoover vacuum that I can put on this giant donut as I do donuts in Sandflower. Because if you're presenting this as another mode of transportation, it has to be faster than a Thopter. It has to be faster than a Thopter. I don't mind if it increases worm size, like worm threat generation really, really high. But if that bad boy can move and it has some speed, it may be my secondary mode of travel when I don't feel like getting to my objectives super fast. That I can hop on this thing and just go. The early game on the sand bike is quite literally my favorite part of the game. Like, Hog Basin is just so perfectly built in every way, shape, and form. It's just that there wasn't really a structured end game after Hog Basin. But if this thing can bring back the feeling of that sand bike again, if you're saying that you're adding these deep desert zones that you can't fly to because of a storm, or these locales we're going to be visiting that you can't fly through because of a storm, and you're giving me something that moves almost as fast as a Thopter, but it's just on the ground, I'm 100% there for it. I am 100% okay with hopping in this giant two-seating donut. If anybody remembers that one dude from Twisted Metal that used to ride in the giant donut with using his hands to steer, I'm 100% there for that. All the new locations look like they're going to be super fucking dangerous, super interesting. This also better be a new radiation suit. The current radiation suits are big, they're super bulky, and I kind of wish that there was a little bit of variation between Atreides radiation suits and Harkonnen radiation suits and radiation suits between different families. If you're telling me this is a new cosmetic for the radiation suit, I'm 100% there for it. Please also make the radiation suit shade fully. I want to be able to use my Atreides colors or my Harkonnen colors or any of the other colors that I've picked up on my radiation suit, because right now the colors that you got locked in are super fucking ugly. But this radiation suit looks, in all honesty, amazing. It looks sleek as hell. It looks super sleek as hell. We get a better shot of the new vehicle, the two-seating buggy, but I actually want to take a moment here and look at the inside of this base. First off, this whole setup that they have is all new. You've got the hologram over on the right. You've got those light panels over on the far left. The ceiling panels are completely different. There's a new light source towards the front. There's a new design for the pentashield also on the left. There are new crate options, new chair options, a chair option directly above me. So many new things in this space. Of course, it's using the exact same carpet that we basically already have, which I think is the Chome carpet. But there are so many new things in this base, new things sitting on the table over there in the corner, new little containers that you can stack. This looks great. New light sources. If you look on that where the vehicle is, directly above the vehicle, there's new light paneling for the side of the wall. Also fucking great. Give me all of that. I need all of that. And of course, when he takes off, we get a better look at the outside. All new designs. Of course, the wind filter is the same. The wind turbines are the same. The advanced wind turbines the same. But the entire schematic of the building looks so much sleeker and so much cooler. I can't wait to build a base using these. Using this. This is probably gonna aggravate my soul because I've built a gigantic Atreides castle out on a mountain somewhere, and now I'm looking at this and I'm like, maybe I'll downsize. Maybe I'll scale it down. Something a little bit smaller, sitting off the side of a rock, or sitting just right there on the edge of the sand zone. But this looks great. I can't wait to start building and mixing and matching the pieces from this set going forward. And like I said, this thing is moving. It's moving really fast. So my hope is that, I'm trying to catch it in this last frame as it's jumping off the cliff, that I wish that they would show just how fast it was moving, but we're not getting that speed wise. But at the exact same time, like I said, if you're giving me an alternative to a Thopter, it has to move fast. I don't care about worm generation. I already can game out how to go from one spot to another spot to another spot and reset my threat because of using the buggy in the deep desert and being able to basically move around that way. But I'm all for this when this eventually comes out. This has me super excited because I really want to see just how fast that thing is moving. Of course, free update. The story missions, the new story missions are a free update. Looks like we're teaming up with Alara again and Emperor Valkorion. If you've ever played Star Wars Your Republic, you know exactly who I'm talking about, and that's a super deep cut. Because we've got somebody that's going around that's basically killing both Atreides and Harkonnen agents. So it's basically I wouldn't really call it a scavenger hunt. It's more like a murder mystery whodunit as we try and figure it out. And praise be to Shai Hulud and Maudi, because he is wise. We are finally getting character recustomization. It does not look as though there are any new hairstyles in here. I don't see any new ones. We've got the bun, We've got the top fade, we've got the side fade, we've got the curly hair, we've got the braided bun, we've got the pullback braids, we've got another stylish female bun. It doesn't look as though there are any new hairstyles that we're essentially getting in this, which is kind of a little bit disappointing. But at the exact same time, I'm 100% for the character recustomization, because for a lot of people, as we play our characters, we want our characters to evolve in the world, and sometimes we get bored of the same hairstyle. Same way as if you're a person, a living, breathing person. Sometimes you want to switch the beard up. Sometimes you want to grow it out. Sometimes you're going to cut it down. Sometimes you're going to go all bald. Sometimes you want a mohawk. Things along those lines. And also, a lot of us, when we made our characters, we made mistakes in regards to the way in which our characters look, move, sound. The voice filters weren't exactly as clear in regards to this game. Looks as though it's going to be a little bit clearer, which is something that in all honesty, I am looking forward to. So I'm excited for these changes. Of course, we've got the new armors. Bene Gesserit armor, finally. I kind of wish that we were getting armor sets for, actually it says archetype armor, so this might be trooper, and then of course this is Bene Gesserit, so I'm assuming we're going to be getting more archetype armor, such as for the Mentat and things along those lines. This, however, is something new, because if we see the trailer when we introduce the characters, somebody fires a flare into the air. I've played the game for around 800 hours. I've never run into a situation where a flare is popped into the air to like summon enemies or anything along those forms in any way, shape, or form. So this seems to be a new encounter, and yes, it does say new dynamic encounters at the bottom. I did not read that. I apologize. But I'm all for you being out in the world and doing something and getting absolutely jumped. And then, of course, we're getting like a little bit of a jump scare towards the end of that as well. And this is dropping September 10th. So, of course, with the Lost Harvest DLC content, it's going to be $12.99. It's going to include a vehicle, a side story, new Imperial testing stations, new building pieces, decorations, armor sets, weapon skins, and emotes included in Season Pass. And then, of course, for the free update, we're getting main story mission continues, character customizations, dynamic encounters, contracts. Thank God. It gives us things to do on a daily basis and more ways to get Solari. Archetype armors for the different archetypes, Trooper, Swordmaster, Bene Gesserit, Mentat, Planetologist. Can't wait to see what the Planetologist fit looks like. The Planetologist fit better be the best still suit in the fucking game. New hairstyles and tattoos. So it looks as though we are getting new hairstyles and tattoos. They just didn't show them on that panel, because I'm looking at the hairstyle options that they basically have here, and nothing looks new unless this hairstyle right here is new. But I don't feel like it's new. I feel like I've seen this hairstyle option before. But we're gonna, of course, when it drops, we're gonna have to go through it and look for ourselves to see exactly what the new content is. Now, jumping out of that, they actually put out a update on the community forum explaining everything that's going on. Greetings, sleepers. Changes coming to Arrakis. We're excited to announce that our Chapter 2 free update and the Lost Harvest DLC priced at $12.99 will release on September 10th, as revealed in the Into the Infinite showcase at Gamescom. Today we'll cover what you can expect in the free Chapter 2 update, the Lost Harvest DLC, as a few other events to look out for in the near future. Get a taste of the update. We just watched the trailer. Chapter 2 update free. Our planned update for Dune Awakening structured into the free major content updates in the form of books and chapters, and paid content in the form of DLCs and expansions. So DLCs and expansions are two different things. DLCs looks to be smaller updates, and then expansions are bigger updates. So I would assume, if I remember correctly, we got Lost Harvest, Shattered Islands, and Water Wars. Water Wars might be a large expansion since it's opening up the North Pole, and the other two, Shattered Isles and Lost Harvest, might be the DLCs, which are smaller content updates that cost less. that costs less. Chapter 2 will be our first major content update. Embark on the next chapter of the main story following the sinister revelations at the end of Chapter 1. Explore new locations, meet new and familiar faces, delve deeper into the nature of your origins, and unravel a web that stretches into the dark corners of the Imperium. Alongside the continuation of the story, Chapter 2 brings several new contracts, new dynamic encounters, new archetype armors, character recustomization, and more. DLC Lost Harvest paid. The Lost Harvest is a paid DLC with a complete standalone storyline. Okay, so this storyline won't be a part of the main storyline. The main storyline will be continued in free updates. All DLC and expansion content will have their own contained story, which I think is the best way to go. The best way to go is to have a main story that you can follow that's free, and then have these DLCs and other stories that are basically big and contained separate from the main story itself. The DLC also includes several unique cosmetics, including a brand new vehicle, the Treadwheel, complete with its own unique animations and tier upgrades. Woo! Sounding good. The vehicle and other cosmetics provide no material benefit over its base game counterpart. Also good. Other cosmetics include several armor and weapon skins and the Dune Man building set. The Dune Man building set is that building set that I was talking about inside the video. Letting you build bases in style of those pragmatic and weathered workers of Arrakis. The DLC is available for $12.99 and is included in the Season Pass, which I already own, which includes the Lost Harvest DLC and 2 more major DLCs. Okay, so the 2 major DLCs that we're getting after Lost Harvest are also DLCs. So I'm guessing after both of those DLCs drop, we'll be getting a expansion that, who knows, an expansion might include a complete different planet. There's a chance that an expansion might include Gady Prime. There's a chance an expansion might include Caladan. Like, there's an expansion that it might include Secula Secundus, Salusa Secundus. The world where I can't remember the freaking names. That gets crazy. When I want to think about a name, I can't think about their name in any way, shape, or form, but it'll come to me later. It'll come to me once I stop trying to think about it. New vehicle, the Treadwheel, Cruiser Arrakis in this nimble machine with unique animations. Oh, that is tiny. 3 Imperial testing stations, plumb the depths of 3 expanded Imperial testing stations, which means they're going to be bigger. More content inside. I'm all for big dungeon Imperial testing stations. I would love to just run in and solo those. New journey, the Lost Harvest. An airlifted harvester has been shot down. Its secret cargo could change everything, which means that this harvester is probably carrying the spice that we found in the main story that is super toxic and melts people from the inside. 5 base decorations, which is the ones that I pointed out in the trailer. The Dune Man building pieces, which I can't wait to get. The Thumper emote, 4 weapon skins, 2 armor skins, which they also look great. Oh, which means that armor skin that we saw is definitely probably an armor skin for the radiation suit. It looks really, really good over here in the corner. The story Chapter 2 free update. The story continues. Delve deeper into the nature of your origin. Unravel a web that stretches into the darkest corner of the Imperium. I read that before. That was up top. More dynamic encounters, new surprises await in the desert. We're gonna be out there getting jumped. Contracts, new missions await in Harko Village and Arrakeen. I cannot wait. New hairstyles and tattoos. I also cannot wait. And archetype armor. So now we actually get a good shot of all of the new armors. We've got Trooper on the end, Bene Gesserit. I'm going to say that this one right here is Mentat. This one might be Swordmaster, and then the one on the end might be Planetologist. But then at the exact same time, these two could be flipped, where this is Planetologist in the center, and then this is Swordmaster on the right. But we shall see. The free trial is here. That is correct. I forgot that they did offer a free trial where you can play the game for 10 hours. That should definitely boost the amount of people playing the game. The only inaccessible areas are Arrakeen, Harko Village, and the Deep Desert. That means you dupers aren't gonna be able to dupe using free accounts. I love it. The entire Haga Basin is free to explore with all varied biomes, advance through the story, build a base, a vehicle, explore the vast desert in almost every respect. The free trial gives you access to everything the full game has to offer, but be warned, once one tastes the spice and the blue eyes of Ibad start to take hold, one becomes bound to Arrakis forever. Get the full details of the free trial here in-game event. Changes coming to Arrakis earlier than you may think. Before Chapter 2 arrives, you will experience a new conflict that leads into the major update. We'll have more to share on this soon. So that's what, 2 weeks? What we got? What are we working with here? When is this dropping? This is dropping August 20. Wait, what? No, I don't know. That's the free trial. When is this dropping? I know I saw a date somewhere. Was a date all the way at the top? September 10th. So September 10th is 1, 2, 3 weeks away. That is right around the corner. That is right around the corner. Developer live stream. We'll be doing a deeper dive into the contents of both the free update and the DLC in a live stream featuring our community managed developers. Keep your eye on our channels for when we announce the date and time. And soundtrack vinyl pre-orders. I'm not going to fake. I love the music and sounds in this game. I probably will buy the soundtrack for this on vinyl just to have it, because it's really, really, really fucking good. And that is all the news for Dune Awakening Chapter 2 free update that we have received today. Are you excited about it? Comment down below. Let me know. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.